Hey, Ramilia. Thank you for coming in. If you do come in right now, hold on one second. There we go. There we go. So, let's see here. The Rams signed Bobby Wagner. 5 years, $50 million. And it's with incentives, it can be $65 million. Awesome. Leslie did it again. Hey, what's up, Grandeur 12? What's up, brother? He's like, oh, a little misa la lampe. Bobby Wagner is a Ram. That sounds good to me. Amazing. So these two guys here, Allen Robinson and Bobby Wagner, are the guys that were added so far. Ora about what's happening. And so amazing. I just got off of work and I said, let me go on live. And I was getting ready, changing, and I'm like, whoa, it's time to get in. Let me get in. Let me get on the Ramilia studios. But so these two guys here, Von Miller, we don't have him no more, but that was the huge contract, 120 million, but it's not all guaranteed. And then OBJ's in the back burner. I think we're going to re-sign him unless somebody steps in, but we don't need him right now because of he's not going to be available until October, November. So maybe we'll sign him right before the season or during the season if he's not taken yet. But a lot of teams don't have the luxury to sign a guy who can't play until October, November. So we might be good. But I think we'll take care of him. Grindizer 12 says, did you hear the interview on Bobby Wagner, why he signed with the Rams? No, I haven't. I was at work and I posted a quick little video when I saw it. I go, wow, we got him. I'll have to check that out. Thank you for telling me. And he says Peo was in a meeting and he was yelling outside. Yeah, I saw that. I saw his little clip on my break. I was too. I was at work and I was like, we got him. Let me make a quick video. And then I messed up. It didn't record right. I had to do it again. But yeah, Peo was saying that some Ram fans were saying that Wagner replaces Von Miller. Huh? They are playing. Well, yeah. So with that, let me get my lemonade. Von Miller is an edge rusher, and he's an All-Pro and Hall of Fame edge rusher, and so he adds that dimension. But Bobby Wagner indirectly replaces Von Miller. We still need an edge rusher, a bookend edge rusher to go with Leonard Floyd, but indirectly he replaces that skill set in our linebacking core with Ernest Jones. And, he's going to give us a different wrinkle that Von Miller couldn't, being an edge rusher, but not necessarily replacing, but it indirectly, production is what we're looking for. He's going to help us in different ways. And so we're still going to look for an edge rusher. We might draft one, or we might sign, or we might trade one. Who knows? Maybe we'll trade for one. We'll see what happens. There's, you never know with Les Snead, but he understands what we need. Yeah. So indirectly, he gets some of that production and he helps us in a different way. But yeah, they're different. You're right. They're different positions. So I think that's that's what they mean, but they're not detailing it. They're not saying it exactly right. But yeah, we haven't had since Laurinaitis who in my mind was a very underrated um, middle linebacker. We haven't had a dog since him and dot com from St. Louis days, middle linebacker, and London Fletcher. And so, this guy's going to be amazing. I mean, we have Hall of Famers. Ramsey's still playing and he's young, but he's most likely, if he stays on where he's at, being an all pro all the time and Pro Bowls and being one of the best corners in the league, arguably top three, top five. He's on his way to being a Hall of Famer. So we have Hall of Famers now on every level of the defense. We have Aaron Donald on the line. Now we have Bobby Wagner on the linebacking core, and we have in the secondary Ramsey. So amazing, golly, we're so blessed. That's why, I go on other people's streams and I talk about it here on my channel. Being a Ram fan, it's almost like Christmas. Um, we got Bobby Wagner. This time it took a little longer. And normally they get us when we're not really, we don't know what's going on. This time he visited us. He visited the Ravens, and but it's amazing. I just had to come on and talk about it for a little bit. But yeah, it's I cannot wait. I cannot wait to see this defense, and we're not done yet. So we'll see what happens. Um, let's see. But on my break, I was on a couple of 49er buddies channels, and they're talking about I like to, especially now, I like to see what they say. Oh, we should have beat him in the championship game, or the Rams are all in. Why can't we be? I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. They're talking about us on their channels, and they're wondering why they still have Jimmy. Hilarious. Let's see. Grinder 12 says Wagner said he signed with the Rams because he saw a Mexican YouTuber who was a Rams fan that said Ramilia mount up. That is what sold him that energy. That'd be nice if he said that, man. It's funny because I was on I said it before the last time. Josefina, I think is her name. She's a black gal, great sports journalist. And on her Twitter, she was saying how he's visiting the Ravens and da da da. And I made a tweet. I was, because all the Ravens fans were like, "Oh, he's got to, we come to our blah blah blah." And I said, I got on her tweet and I replied something like, Baltimore doesn't compare to Los Angeles, beautiful Los Angeles, and you're not going to be playing with players like an Aaron Donald, a Leonard Floyd, a Gray Gaines, a Ramsey, and and also Baltimore's not the Super Bowl champs. LA is different than playing in Baltimore on those cold nights or whatever. I can't remember exactly, but um, maybe he saw it and said, "Yeah, you're right." But no, he wanted money. We structured it where it's gonna. I haven't seen the details. I don't think they posted it where how it hits our cap. But they stretch it out. It looks like a huge deal, and it is a huge deal, but it's not exactly. Football money is different than like baseball money. It's not all guaranteed. So like I said, I trust Les Snead, and here he is. We got Bobby Wagner. Even if we didn't get Bobby Wagner, I trust that he's going to do something else. Maybe they have something in the draft or whatever. Vander Trump says, I think I heard part of what you're saying about the Bobby Wagner Von Miller comparisons. Yeah, so Bobby Wagner, he's not okay. First of all, he's 31 years old. He's a couple years younger than Von Miller, and he hasn't had a lot of injuries, which is great. And even last year, he's still at the top of his game. Now, he's not Bobby Wagner for 5 years ago, but that's not what we need. We would love it, but and at this price, that's what we got. But he's still close enough to his prime where he's still one of the better linebackers, and we haven't had that. We've had inexperienced guys, guys that have a lot of flaws, but they're trying hard and they have a lot of motors. And we have young Ernest Jones there, and he's going to learn from Bobby Wagner, and he's going to coach him up, so to speak. A player can coach him up, and they're going to be, in the on the field and in battle together. So I mean, this is just so amazing. I can't say enough about Les Snead, man. This guy here, he's a boss GM. Amazing, this guy. Um, it's just something else. Um, I was at work and I couldn't concentrate at work. I was just like, man, So I'm now we're spoiled now. So we're like, okay, so when's Gilmore gonna sign? I didn't see if he had signed it with anybody, or when is when are we gonna get OBJ back? So we're just spoiled. Um, I love how we're not resting on our laurels, so to speak. We're we're retooling and running it back, and they promised Aaron Donald. We didn't get Von Miller, but you have to be sensible with that. We could have got him, but then we wouldn't be able to do other moves that we needed to. But um Aaron Donald and all the guys, Ramsey was on a podcast the other day, and he was talking about his top five receivers, and I got a chance to see it, and he's bragging too about, hey, well, I left Jacksonville and I got this ring, and he was going down the games that um, and it was funny because he was saying how when teams don't throw on his side, he gets bored. He's like, man, I want to get in the mix. When he goes to play when they move him around, he wants to stay with the better receiver. And then there was in the Super Bowl, I thought he was injured. He said it was a shoulder injury earlier in the year. It wasn't in the Super Bowl. That's because it looked like he kept falling, but he said he kept playing the wrong technique. They kept catching him in the wrong technique, and they just happened to put on the money. And then he was going into about the one with the same thing. The same playing the Super Bowl happened in the championship game with Tom Brady and Mike Evans, where he was playing the wrong technique. He thought they were gonna throw underneath, and then he got caught, and it was a perfect pass. And he hated that he did that, but he said he learned to let it go a little bit, because we won the game. So, but he still wasn't happy about it. But yeah, it was nice to hear him talk like that. And the players talk to each other, and we have the reputation of being a franchise that takes care of their players and that they want to win, and that's good. Um, Mike Malik, what's up, brother? He says, "Go Rams!" Yes, yes, yes. Thank you for coming in, man. I just got off of work and I go, you know what? Let me do a live today. I've been doing a couple here and there, but yeah. So it's just amazing. Oh, I saw this thing on. I like this thing back here. Fueled by haters. Yeah, Mike Malik says, WAG 4 or 5 million, 5 years. Yeah, 5 years, 50 million. They haven't broken it down yet. 65 with incentives, but football money is different than other sports. So Les need to most likely set it up where it's not going to give us a huge cap hit. And it took longer than I thought, but Bobby Wagner did his due diligence. He understands that this is his last contract and he wants to win, but if he was able to get paid too, you can't blame him. But he came to his senses and he realized that he's going to go to the Super Bowl champs and get a chance to play with Aaron Donald and Leonard Floyd and Ramsey and Coach McVay and be part of this franchise and also get a nice little chunk of change in his pocket and play in Los Angeles, his hometown. He grew up in Southern California, so amazing. Yeah, Mike Malik says WAG is going to be big. Yeah, that's what me and Grindster 12 was talking about. He's indirectly a replacement for the production. I'll say it that way. Von Miller. Now we still need an edge rusher, a bookend edge rusher to help on that side, and so we're probably working on that. We might draft a guy because we just need an athletic guy. And let me tell you this thing: it's not really magic, and it's not hocus pocus. If we find a guy that's athletic, that can get off the ball, um, and it's weird me saying this, but he doesn't even have to do a lot. Just get after the quarterback and be decent against the run because Aaron Donald does the heavy lifting. Aaron Donald and my guy Greg Gaines, number 91, the spirit of rest in peace, Rams legend Kevin Green, living up to that number 91 jersey. They do the heavy lifting, especially Aaron Donald. So if you have Aaron Donald taking on double and triple teams, your edge rushers, they can get home. Now he's nowhere near a Von Miller, whoever we get at this point, even if it's a veteran. But with AD in there, and then now you have a guy at the second level, those run games against the Niners and these other teams. He's going to be filling that hole and popping fools and making interceptions, so, it's going to be amazing. I'm just so stoked. Mike Malik says, Von Miller leaves big mistake. Yeah, he will understand that as the season goes and they have home games in cold Buffalo. But he's such a character, man. I enjoy that guy. I wish we could have been able to keep him, and but he still has a lot left in the tank, but he's such a character and such a breath of fresh air, and he helped Donald, with his leadership on the field. He showed him to be more outspoken, and they had a great time together. He even said that he's going to miss the guys, but that money, that bag, you got your bag, is something to be said. But he said he was close to just going with the Rams. But I know no ill feelings. I love Von Miller. I'll always be thankful for him helping us win this Super Bowl. He was very instrumental. So yeah, it's just a different way to get different production with to replace some of that production in different ways with Bobby Wagner. And plus, Bobby Wagner's a little younger, and he's going to be here for a few more years. To go with our core. He's going to be one of our core guys now, so to speak, the next 2 or 3 years, most likely, because you could always void years. That's what I think, at least 2 years, 3 years. Let's see. Mike Malik says Chris Garrett. Yeah, Chris Garrett can do it. Wag is a 49er killer. That's one thing I was thinking about. I posted a little video and it wasn't a great resolution, but I was at work and I did it real quick. There was a play where Mullins, I think, was in the red zone of the Seahawks. And he drops back and he throws in. Bobby Wagner gets the interception, takes it to the house, and then he lays down like he's asleep. And I go, "Welcome to LA." Basically, Bobby Wagner. Can't wait to see him do this. And so, but yeah, Michael Lee says, "Love Von." Yeah, me too, man. But that's the 49er killer. Now we can start. I have this shirt on because this is the NFC Championship. I ordered it, and I have the matching hat right here. And I said it before that this means a lot to me because this is the championship game hat that that we got beating the 49ers in their 75th anniversary season, and we beat them at our house, sent all the all the red wave home back to Santa Clara or back to their homes in Southern California, because a lot of Niners fans are in Southern California, and we go on and win the Super Bowl at home. So this shirt and that hat means a lot to me because it's revenge for the 1989 championship game we lost to them when our offensive line was in shambles after the 2 wars in Philadelphia against Reggie White and Jerome Brown. And then we go to New York and play Lawrence Taylor at New York in another war. And then we're missing 3 offensive linemen. And despite this, so now we play a 49ers team with Joe Montana and the guys rested at Candlestick. And nonetheless, with 3 offensive linemen hurt, backup linemen with the likes of Charles Haley and the crew coming in at Everett, we still took the lead 3-0, and we were about to throw a bomb for another touchdown, and Ronnie Lott batted it away, and that was it. And, they kept coming in, and they were basically like us with those linemen that we had out. It was like us and the Bengals O-line. They were just coming from all areas. Couldn't get nothing going, and then we beat them the next year at home. But Yeah, so that's revenge for that, and it's more special because we won the Super Bowl at our own house. So amazing, amazing. Mike Lee says, I have the Super Bowl 56 championship. Yeah, me too, man. I'm enjoying. I have gear coming in all the time. I got this flag here, banner. My sister got this world champion. That's why I have them in the background because I can point to it and I like to see it. I'm looking at us as we go, but I got the towel right here, the world champions. My sister got that from the parade rally area. I got this towel here. I ordered that one. The Rams house, I got that as being a season ticket holder for the first game where they had fans. This thing here, this sign, it has a little post, and that was at the supermarket when they first came back to Los Angeles. And but yeah, these hats, I'm gonna buy some to wear. Now, this is one of my favorite ones. This one with the Super Bowl, beautiful hat. And then this is the championship one you're talking about. There's different ones too, but I always buy two. I buy one to wear, and then I put one away. So 15, 20 years, 10 years from now, that one's kind of beat up. I have something nice on my jersey. I can go whoop, put my nice hopefully we'll still be winning Super Bowls then. But we always thought the greatest show on turf we're going to win forever, and times have changed, especially with free agency. We lose people all the time. Mike Malik says the Rams' greatest linebacker was Hacksaw. Yes, you're making me great memories. Hacksaw Reynolds, yes, and if the great, do I have him in here? Let me see. Hold on. The great Carol Rosenblum didn't pass. May he rest in peace. He would have never allowed Hacksaw Reynolds to go to the 49ers. He would have stayed with us and won a Super Bowl. Hold on one second. I thought I had him in my Rolodex picture here. Dang it. I got to put it in here for the next one. But yeah, the great Carol Rosenblum, amazing owner. Here's Jim Everett right here. There we go, right there. This team here, the 1989 Rams, Jim Everett, Flipper Anderson. I have a sweatshirt hoodie, Flipper Anderson, Henry Ellard, should be in the Hall of Fame. This game here, we're leading. I think this is one of the games that we beat them. They were amazing. Unfortunately, we traded Eric Dickerson away. We had to go with Greg Bell. And, that was one thing when you have our real owner, Carol Rosenblum, not there. And the woman who shall be nameless was in charge when he passed. Didn't know how to get things over the hump, rather. And the henchman GM at that time, John Shaw, made some bad deals and draft picks. And when we traded Eric Dickerson, and instead of John Robinson, our great coach who should be in the Hall of Fame too, went to 2 championship games in the middle of the Niners heyday dynasty. He wanted to trade up and get Michael Irvin from the University of Miami, and then also with those draft picks, and also draft Thurman Thomas. And so you would have had Michael Irvin, Thurman Thomas running the rock with Flipper Anderson and Henry Ellard and Jim Everett. They would have never left LA, and they would have won some Super Bowls here. But John Shaw said no, because at that time, John Robinson, it's different than now. He didn't have any power, and they traded local products, Gaston Green and guys like that, and they just didn't do anything. Mike Malik says the infamous sack. Yeah, that's unfortunate, man, because Everett went through 2 wars against Philadelphia, Jerome Brown and Reggie White. Took a lot of punishment there, and we won on the road in Philadelphia. And then we went to New York with Lawrence Taylor, Carl Banks, and Belichick as the defensive coordinator. And we beat them in New York. And Jim Everett threw that ball over the top to Flipper Anderson. Flipper Anderson takes it for the winning touchdown and goes in the tunnel. And then our offensive line's beat up. And then we go to Candlestick for a waiting 49er team, healthy and ready for us. And we just couldn't keep him off him. And then the next year he got redemption a little bit because the Rams were struggling, and they went to Candlestick and they gave them their first loss. They were undefeated for the first 6 games, I think it was. They beat them, but unfortunately he never got a chance to make it to the championship game. Guys retired, and we didn't re-sign nobody, and unfortunately, but But yeah, those were the days, man. I mean, as long as we had Jim Everett and we kept him upright, like Stafford, if you keep him upright, we have a chance to beat anybody, you know. But unfortunately, there was only like a 4 year a year where we had a pretty good crew on both sides, and you know, unfortunately, yeah, Ronnie Lott, man, one of my favorite players on USC because I'm a USC fan because of John Robinson. Yeah, he was an amazing player. Even when he was older, when he went to the Raiders and the Jets, you know, he was a shadow of himself, but he was pretty decent. He still knew how to bring the hardwood. I want to now you got. I want to get that picture of Karen Rosenblum. Hold on one second. I thought I had it here. Oh, there's a hat that I want to buy. Check this hat out. There's some amazing creators that make stuff. This hat's pretty awesome right here. I saw that on social media. Oh, I'm sorry, Grander 12. I missed a couple. I'm sorry. I'm talking away. OBC Tobias, what's up, brother? He said, how's it, Ramilia? Go Rams. Yes, thank you for coming in, man. Sorry about that. And then I missed yours, Graduate 12. Ramilia, how was work? You work tomorrow. Work was okay. It was kind of busy. Um, but with all the stuff going on, you know, I couldn't wait to leave. And but yeah, I want to put that picture of Carol Rosenblum up. It's a classic picture too. Hold on, guys. I'm sorry. I want to put it up for you guys. Let's see. There he is. Okay, hold on one second. Let me send it to my thing here. Okay, now let me grab it on here. One second. Okay, here we go. Now, where you at? Where you at? Power of Live TV, live YouTube TV. Let's see. Here we go. Almost there. Almost there. Here we go. All right, so let's save it there. Come back in here. Okay. Now, let's bring this back in. See if he's in there. There he is. This is Carol Rosenblum. Mike knows who he is, most likely. Right here, this guy here, Carol Rosenblum, classic picture. He's got the ram helmet with oranges because it was Orange Coast magazine, and the Rams are coming. That's when I think they were moving to Anaheim Stadium at that time. It was supposed to be the Anaheim Stadium deal was supposed to be. Thank you, Mike. I saw that picture. It's amazing. The Anaheim Stadium was supposed to be a ploy where they were trying to put pressure on the LA Coliseum officials. You know, even later on in the 80s and 90s, they never wanted to upgrade the Coliseum. They didn't want to spend any money, but he wanted to. You know, he saw that they wanted to upgrade that old Coliseum, and so he said, "Well, you know what? I'm going to go to Anaheim Stadium then." And it was only supposed to be like a short-term thing to show them that, hey, you know, because he was the kind of owner like a Stan Kroenke who always tried to get a quarterback. You know, unfortunately, he couldn't find a quarterback. You know, he went to the old. He went to old. Even tried Joe Namath. Um, uh, the old Falcon quarterback too, Burt Jones. They could never put it together, and but he was something else, this guy. And if he was there, the Niners dynasty wouldn't have been as big as it was. He would have been there getting players and picking players off of them, you know. But he was trying to put pressure on the LA Coliseum officials to make much needed improvements to the Coliseum, even back then in the late 70s, and because it was still old, you know. And he passed away. He drowned, like Mike says. He drowned in Florida. He was an older guy, but he was a world-class swimmer or something like that effect in high school or college, and all of a sudden he drowned. Yeah, Dan Pastorini, yeah. Always trying to find a quarterback. We just didn't couldn't get a quarterback to we had a great defense and a good running game, and we could not decent receivers. We could not find a quarterback. And and to put it all together, and then we got Ferragamo, and then he passed the year they were in the Super Bowl with against the Steelers, and then they didn't want to pay him, and the lady who shall be nameless, you know, was an embarrassment when it came to that. She didn't want to pay the players. Guys had to sit out. Even Jackie Slater, the Hall of Famer Jackie Slater, I believe, had to sit out. Or say that he was going to. Yeah, Dieter Brock. Yeah. Uh, Dieter Brock. He was okay, but unfortunately, poor Eric Dickerson had to carry the load with 5'11" Dieter Brock from the Canadian League. Yeah, yeah, Mike. Rest her soul, but she took him away from here, and my brothers in St. Louis, my Ramilia in St. Louis, Ramley in St. Louis, understand. I understand when you lose your team, but the way they did it, though, um, she never wanted to get players to get us over the hump, and made such bad draft position. And but the owners didn't take her serious, so there was no leverage at all to get things done on the LA Coliseum. So we stayed in Anaheim Stadium, and it was a dirt field because it's a part baseball stadium. It's an Angel Stadium, and it was horrible. It was a little closer to my house, but we that's why as Ram fans, LA Ram fans, that they're here. We're so glad they have their own stadium, and we have to share with the Chargers, but they pay us rent $1. That's what the NFL did. But we pay our owner paid for most of it. But yeah, amazing. Dieter Brock could barely complete a pass. Yeah, I remember him, man. He was a strong arm, but a short guy, and we just were so desperate that and then we got Vince Ferragamo, and he was pretty good, but he was a young guy. Held his own in the Super Bowl. Pat Hayden was okay too for a while. Amazing. Oh, you grew up in Whittier. Oh, awesome, brother. I'm from Riverside. I've always have been in Riverside. Awesome, man. Yeah, so you know exactly what I'm talking about. But yeah. but yeah, there was some great memories. The rounds are very close. The rounds are very close to a few times. They would always lose in the 60s when they had Roman Gabriel to the Vikings, and could never put it together, could never put the defense and offense together at the right time, or one was hot one, and then we had to play the Vikings, and they kind of had our number with uh, that scrambling quarterback, Len, what's his name? I can't remember. Maybe my mind is blocking it out on purpose, but yeah, it's a little before my time, but yeah, they couldn't put it together. Then in '79, a wild card injuries, we got to the Super Bowl, and we had them on the ropes. We should have won that game, but you know, awesome. Um, oh, you live in Temecula now? Okay, cool. Yeah, Fran Tarkenton. Yeah. Hey, what's up, Jesse Romo? What's up, brother? Fran Tarkenton. I remember he was on one of my favorite shows growing up. That's incredible. I think it was. Mike Malik says, I saw a playoff game against the Vikings at the Coliseum. Oh, awesome, man. Yeah, the Rams, the Rams franchise is such an enigma, meaning like okay, like the great um franchises, grandfather franchises, iconic franchise like the Bears. Um oh, it's 1965. Okay. Awesome. That's amazing. If you look at their quarterback history, very bad. As great a franchise as the Bears have been through the years, they're mostly a running team and defense, physical defense. Um, you know, and the Rams. If you go through the history books, we've always been a high fly act. From the Bob Norm Van Brocklin, Bob Waterfield, the 1951 LA champion Rams, NFL champions. First team to average over 30 points, 500 points a year. a first team, a lot of stuff, to televise their home games and on and on. The run game, the receivers, Crazy Leg Hirsch, Jack Snow, Night Train Lane, defensive backs, of course, the fearsome foursome, on and on and on. Almost every position, we're like an enigma, and to me, we don't get our due. We don't take a backseat to anybody when it comes to the all-time greats. I mean, you can imagine it'd be nice if somebody commissioned a painting, and you have the fearsome foursome and Jack Youngblood and like you were saying, a Hacksaw Reynolds and now you can add Aaron Donald. You can put Ramsey in there. Leroy Irvin was great. Jerry Gray. Just amazing. And if you go to the Hall of Fame, we've got one of the most Hall of Famers and coaches as any team in the NFL. Amazing. Yeah, Mike. The first team to have a decal on the helmets. Yep. When one of the Rams players painted Carl Eckern. Yes. One of the Rams players painted the ram horns on the leather helmets that they used to wear, and that's why I was us older Ram fans, when they went to this stripe here away from the horn here, we were kind of upset because to me okay, look, I don't want to be the old guy. Get off my lawn, right? To me, that's because like Mike said, we were the first team to have an emblem. Before there was just leather hats, and who knows, maybe they had different colors, maybe they had like a dark brown or black or whatever. But we had the horn, and then that's iconic to us. And can you see the Cowboys mess with their star, or the Steelers mess with the circle? That's why when they did it, we weren't trying to be, the old guys, the old heads. No, that's an iconic logo to us. At least keep the horn on the helmet. Modernize it a little bit, but you gotta make sure that it's recognizable. That two thing with the two sunsets deal, or whatever we have, I don't like it, but what it is, what it is. It's still the Los Angeles Rams, but that's why I say that. And then Mike has that point with he says Rams, from Rams to goats. Just yeah, but that's why I say that. We're not trying to be old heads or unwilling to change. The uniforms are okay. I miss the horns on the arms too, but the new colors with the yellow and white, but that horn is iconic. Like I said, not 49ers, forget them. The Cowboys wouldn't mess with their star, that iconic star. They wouldn't tweak that, and the Packers wouldn't mess with their helmet. And why should we, So, that's why I was upset. I wish they would have put it to a vote, but whatever, it is what it is, Can't have everything, but that's what I mean. Jesse Romo says, "Hey, bro, what's up? I go back with the Rams since '74. Oh, awesome, brother. I go as a kid, the '79 Super Bowl is when we were somewhere. I was a kid. I liked football, but I didn't really have a team, and everybody was watching the Super Bowl, and I started watching how the Ferragamo was throwing to Billy Waddy and the guys, and I picked them, and I liked the helmet and everything, and then I started following them up, all the way through till as an adult, and that was my team. And so, yeah, so that's awesome. 79 was it for me. We always would choke the big one. Yeah. Back in the day, especially against the Vikings, we couldn't get past them. Staubach and Tarkin always had our number. And then we got Staubach. Yeah. We finally got Staubach in 79, Ferragamo at Dallas. And then from them, that's when we started having their number from that point on. Staubach, Ferragamo threw that ball over the middle of Billy Waddy, and he took it around the corner. Got a touchdown, and the next year Staubach retired. So we retired Staubach and got to the Super Bowl. But yeah, and we could have been to a lot more Super Bowls in the past, and we could have had it. You got to have both together. But amazing. Also, too, the Cowboys GM, Tex Schramm, the architect of those Cowboys, Roger Staubach and all them came out of the Rams front office. So did Pete Rozelle, the NFL commissioner. Hall of Fame commissioner, came out of the Rams front office. Graduate 12 says, You mess with the Rams, you get the horn. That's right. Yeah, Mike says they clip their horns. Yeah, man. Hopefully they'll change it back up a little bit. But I wish they would have asked us. I don't want to sound like an old head. Mike says 63. Yeah, okay. Awesome, man. That's awesome. We're not trying to be old heads, we're okay with certain change, but like I said, you're not the Cowboys aren't going to tweak their star. So, it is what it is now, but I wish they would have put it to a vote. If it's going to be even close, leave it. It's close enough, leave it. Why mess with it? But they didn't ask me. Maybe they'll come back to it. I like this picture. I saw this picture on social media too. It has the greatest show on turf here, and Matthew Stafford, and the guy is right there. And what's amazing is, uh, then it has here in the background, you can see the St. Louis Arch and the Hollywood sign here. Um, uh, Mike says, Rams are our first team to draft a homosexual. Yeah, Michael Sam, right? Michael Sam. Yeah, and the first team to have black players a year before Jack and Rawson broke the color barrier. Woody Strode and Washington. Um, yeah, on and on, man. Amazing franchise. All that stuff I learned about it later. I read about them. I don't like to be like the fans that don't know nothing about your team, um, yeah, but one thing that I never really realized, is we had the greatest show on turf. They were in St. Louis. Amazing years. Unfortunately, we got rid of Kurt Warner a couple years too early. I wish we would have kept him, but at that time, there was some turmoil with Mike Martz, and you had a young guy in Mark Bolger. They thought we're going to add to. He was a little more mobile and younger, but he was no Kurt Warner, and he was a decent quarterback. But uh, we never won a Super Bowl in St. Louis colors, the navy blue and gold. We never won a Super Bowl. We got to the Super Bowl, and unfortunately, you know the Bounty Gate. What was it called? Not the Bounty Gate. The taping practices and stuff. All that stuff. We won Super Bowls in these colors, in the LA Rams colors. Amazingly, even in St. Louis, we wore the LA Ram colors, and four starters were LA Rams, including Isaac Bruce, who was drafted as an LA Ram, made the game-winning catch. And then now we win the Super Bowl in Los Angeles, and you have some St. Louis Rams on the LA Rams squad, AD and Hecker. I can't remember who else. I can't remember, but so it's amazing. There's a mix of both Super Bowls. Spygate, thank you, Mike. I probably have it blocked out mentally because it pissed me off. Right? If we would have played them 20 times, we beat them 19 times. I don't even care if they taped our practices. We still won. Mike Martz was something, he was he's kind of like Kyle Shanahan reminds me, Michael Brockers. Yes, Michael Brockers. Thank you, Mike. God bless you, man. Yeah, so it's amazing how both Super Bowls, both cities tie in because there was four starters on the St. Louis Rams greatest show on turf team, including the game-winning wide receiver who was drafted by the LA Rams, Isaac Bruce. And then over here with this Super Bowl team in LA, you had AD, one of the greatest players of all time, and Brockers and Hecker, so amazing that both cities, so that's what I say, it's amazing this franchise, but it's just amazing. I saw this picture here too. I got a kick. You can't really see it too good because it's the way the screen is, but there's the Rams clubhouse at the stadium, and there's a 49er looking at jerseys. And he's probably buying it for a friend or whoever. But I was like, oh, so probably at halftime, when we were beating them pretty bad at halftime, that one the last game of the year when we let go of the lead, maybe he was going to change jerseys. I got a kick out of that one, but yeah, and then but yeah, it's just amazing franchise. We don't get our due. But now we're winning and it's culture and everything. You know, uh, where one of the big players has everybody seen this movie here, the American Underdog, the Kurt Warner story? It's a great movie. They can also make a another one with Matthew Stafford's story. You know, all the stuff that he's taken with the Lions, and then he comes to St. Louis, to Los Angeles, and wins the Super Bowl. I mean, there you go. The American Underdog 2, starring Matthew Stafford. SG Sports Truck Channel, what's up, brother? How you doing, man? He says hi, Ramilia. Good, good. Thank you, man. Thank you for coming in. How you doing? But yeah, so it's just nothing is guaranteed, but I'm just so stoked, man. Because life is too short, and players' contracts are too short. Uh, if you have a team that has key guys, you might as well try to win now, and that's what we're doing. We're not resting on our laurels. Of course, we would have loved to have kept Robert Woods and Von Miller, but it's just amazing. I can't say enough, and I'm not being a homer. I don't like to put that over, but I just can't give them enough props because this team is Super Bowl contenders again, man. And so we're not done yet. We still have some money to play around with. We're going to be drafting some guys. We have 8 picks starting in the 3rd round, and we always do good with our late round picks. And so amazing though. Graduate Trop says the Ramilia story. Yeah, man. On that note, Graduate 12, on my birthday, it's January 5th. So I'm a Southern California guy. When the Rams left to St. Louis, I was heartbroken, like my Ram brothers and sisters in St. Louis when they came back to Los Angeles. And it was always, like I always say, loyalty over location. So it doesn't matter where they go. They can go to Egypt, and I'll still be a Ram fan. But when the news broke out that Stan Kroenke had, we always thought when the lady who shall be nameless, the owner of the Rams, passed away. Hate to say it that way, but that's what we were, because she left us bitter. I mean, I'm going to tell you guys something in a second. So, we always were hoping maybe one day they'll come back, blah 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 blah. So, on my birthday on January 5th, they announced that he had bought the land for Hollywood Park, and I was like that meme of the picture of Dumb and Dumber. So you say there's a chance. They announced it on my birthday, so so that's what you got me. We're thinking about that. Jesse Romo says we need to win another Super Bowl here in LA. Not a fan of St. Louis Rams. They're our team, bro. They should have never gone there. Yeah. So Jesse, on that note, I'm glad you brought that up because for me, I don't like that the St. Louis officials and the lady who shall be nameless did that, because I'm going to give you a little insight that I learned, and I have. And this is the Edward Jones Dome in St. Louis was supposed to be for the Patriots. They wanted a team, and Robert Kraft ended up taking over the Patriots. If you notice, the seats were blue and red. So when they lost out on that, and he kept the Patriots in New England, or this is before they won all those Super Bowls and Tom Brady and all that, they were desperate for a team. And so Georgia, and I hate to say it this way, well, dang it, I said her name. Forgive me, the lady who shall be nameless, made a heck of a deal getting $250 million to move the team, a brand new stadium, brand new training facility, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Al Davis, rest in peace, never got his Raiders a stadium. So I don't like that they took him, and the St. Louis officials, I blame them, and the lady who shall be nameless. But and I don't think you mean this either, but yeah, so they should have left. But our brothers and sisters in St. Louis, it's not their fault either. I feel bad for them that but like you said, they should have never left. But so we're all Ramilia, Ramley, and but yeah, I know that you don't mean the fans, but yeah, the St. Louis officials I blame. And then what got me mad too is, again, it's not the fans' fault. I feel bad for them. It's not their fault. I have no faulting in the fans. They love the Rams. They wanted them to stay in St. Louis. Nothing wrong with that. What got me mad is that the St. Louis officials and city tried to, they sued Stan Kroenke and they made a deal. But to me, they went behind, they did the same thing to us. They went and they took our team in Los Angeles, gave her this heck of a deal, and then and they showed. I remember seeing the trucks at night. They were showing the Rams are leaving, for St. Louis, the moving vans. And I remember in that year, a couple years before, you would open up the Avon books, and I say that because my mom would have Avon, and they'd have like, oh, there's a Ram watch, oh, hey, there's a sweatshirt. They didn't have, you would see the 49ers and Raiders and Chargers, but no Rams. They were making it where you couldn't buy Ram merchandise in certain stores so they can keep the fan base down. And so to me, they signed that lease in the Edward Jones Dome, and it had poison pills in it. They made a lease where it said they have to be within the top 20% tier of stadiums and keep upgrading it. And they relinquished that. Otherwise, they can break the lease. Then they brought a neutral moderator in there. They sided with the Rams instead of the St. Louis officials. And then they decided to make their own riverfront idea stadium, but they never got the approval of the Rams. The Rams were like, yeah, go ahead. We'll take a look at it. But nothing's promised and there's nothing written in stone. So, that was their fault for letting them break the lease. They should have just kept to the lease and maybe made a deal, but they didn't. They took it upon themselves, and then they're able to sue Stan Kroenke because of bad blood for them breaking the lease and not living up to the lease guidelines, even though it was a bad contract they signed. It was horrible, but that's their fault for signing it. And they never were able to, he wasn't going to change his mind. And so in my opinion, he has a right to do what he wants with his team once they break the lease. So I don't understand how they were able to get that money back. I don't know who their lawyer was, but they were horrible. That's what I would have said. I want to be, well, look, you guys signed a lease. You broke it. The mediator sided with us. It's unfortunate. We'd be happy to refund the fans of the city, and we'd be happy to bring every fan out to a game this next year in Los Angeles. Take care of them a little bit, but it's not their fault, the fans. But I don't understand how they're able to get millions from Stan Kroenke when they broke the lease. So that's where it starts. I don't understand that. They said, oh, it's in good faith, and they were talking about this with Roger Goodell, and well, whatever. You broke the lease, and so he can talk to whoever he wants. It's his franchise. You broke the lease. He can do whatever he wants, even if you don't like it. I don't understand. So and again, it's not the St. Louis fans. Don't get me wrong, but I don't understand how they can get money out of it, because they, like you said, they went and they took the team from Los Angeles and they didn't have any problem there, and now they have bad blood. But it's never the fans' fault. But I don't understand how they were able to get millions, and they ended up breaking the lease. That's where it started. If they didn't break the lease, he wouldn't have been able to leave. So, but yeah, I would love to win another Super Bowl, man. That's what we're working on. Hopefully, we'll get it. Mike says, I like them better in LA. Yeah, yeah, because I'm a Southern California fan, so I am biased. So. But in St. Louis, they have great fans. I know I got some buddies on social media that are St. Louis fans, and we go back and forth. And it's funny because, and I say this lovingly, I call them, they call us the LA Pukes, right? And they say that lovingly but backhanded, and we call them the St. Louis Rubes. And so we go back and forth, and we would go back and forth. We don't do that anymore. We haven't. They still have a little page. They go back and forth on Facebook, and so we do pictures, and they do like a picture of meanwhile in St. Louis, and they'll have like a picture of some guys doing mud diving. Meanwhile, in the Edward Jones Dome in St. Louis, and on Sundays, Ram fans in St. Louis and they show mud diving, and we go back and forth. It's funny, but and then they show us, and they show something about smog or the homeless or whatever. It was all in good fun. We're all Ramilia and Ramilia. We talk to each other like that. But I that's been years since I seen them. But I have them on my social media, and it's awesome. But yeah, they're Ramley, the Ramilia, and it's unfortunate that these teams can just leave. It's amazing that the Browns left. Their real team is in Baltimore, and then they kept the name in Cleveland, and now it's the Cleveland Browns, but it's not really the Cleveland Brown. It is, but it's not, because the real team is in Baltimore, the that franchise. So it's weird. Granger 12 says, "Bro, you're getting me hungry." But yeah, so I'm glad that here with this stadium, SoFi Stadium. Um, it's amazing that we have this stadium. Thank you, Mike, for coming in, brother. I appreciate it, brother. Thank you. I great reminiscing with you, man. I really appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. If you can, hit the subscribe and like buttons and my alerts. I'll be having more videos, and I like having you in, man. I really like your input, brother. Thank you so much. Take care and have a good night, man. I normally don't come on nights, but look for them. I'll do that from time to time. Okay. Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. But yeah, so back to the Bobby Wagner. So Bobby Wagner is going to add a wrinkle in our defense. I see him kind of doing um, uh, things like Junior Seau, blitzing up the middle, doing stunts. He's a dog, so to speak. He's a Hall of Fame caliber player, and he's going to help us in different ways to help impact some of that production that we're losing with Von Miller gone. So we haven't had a great linebacker. He's not in this class, but Laurinaitis was very good, and so James Laurinaitis. And .com, London Fletcher back in the day. So this guy, we've never had that the type of athlete at that linebacking position. He's a step above. He's a Hall of Famer. So it's going to be amazing, So I'm so looking forward to it. Thank you for you guys for coming in. I really appreciate it. Jesse Romo and Mike and Granger 12. Thank you, brother. And SG Sports Talk channel. Thank you, man. Thank you, guys. I really appreciate it. I just wanted to come here and talk a little bit. I'll be doing more of these late night shows, and tell me what you guys, if you guys think about it, what time is best for you. Today I did it about 8:30. Some people were saying 9 o'clock. Just to talk football, and because the off season we don't have a lot of draft picks. We have not until the third round. So I'll be doing more of these Ramilia After Dark, but I'll mostly do videos and some lives during the day. So hit the alert and subscribe buttons, guys, so you can come in. I really like having you guys in here. But I want to appreciate you guys coming in. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. And you can hear my birdies in the background, my girlfriend's birdies. But thank you, guys. Appreciate it. Thank you, everybody, for coming in. I really appreciate it. Jesse Roma said it's going to be fun with the new receiver from now on, and go Rams. Yes, man. I can't wait, man. 6'3". Oh, you know what? On that note, let me show you real quick. Allen Robinson, real quick. This guy played with. Okay, so Blake Bortles, Trubisky, Foles, Justin Fields, Chase Daniels, Andy Dalton, Chad Henne, Tyler Bray, Brian Walters were his quarterback. And in 2019 and 2020, he had 1,100 and 1,200 plus yards, respectively, 100 and some catches and 95 catches. And he's a beast. And then in 2000, last year, he had COVID protocols and an injury to his hamstring, and as the quarterback situation got worse in Chicago. So he's going to break out, man. He's going to break out. So this guy's going to be a beast. I hated losing Robert Woods, but he's going to add a different wrinkle, a big target, and put him with our guys. Hopefully we'll get OBJ back, but I'm looking forward to Jacob Harris, another big guy, big target, the rookie phenom who got hurt. In the red zone, you can take your pick at the tip balls. This guy can really go up there and get it. So it's going to be amazing. Granger says some said 10 p.m. That might be a little late, but we'll see. Maybe I'll do a poll and I'll have you guys add to it. But yeah, that's. But yeah, Granger 12 says yes. Time. Get ready for work. Okay, bro. Thank you guys for coming in, and OBC Tobias and horns up, brother. thank you guys again for coming. I really appreciate it, and we'll do this again soon. Thank you so much. Hopefully, we'll get Gilmore and OBJ signed. We're going to extend Cooper Cup. We're going to extend Aaron Donald. I didn't mention it, but McVay and Les Snead got their extensions. They'll be signing them before the season starts. So amazing in Rams Super Bowl town. So thank you guys. I really appreciate for coming in. And as we always say, may the Ramilia be with you. And Ramulators, mount up.